I'd like to talk about my dad now. This man recently retired. He called me after he retired, and he went, "Right, I'm retiring." I said, "Yes, Dad, you sound very relaxed." He said, "I'm retiring, and I'm going to buy a kitten." I said, "Are you sure that's a good idea, Dad? You've never expressed any interest in animal ownership in the past, and the volume at which you speak would rip a kitten's face off. Anyway, it's too late. I've paid for it now. Bye." Called me up 3 weeks later and went, "Right, the cat's here. I fucking hate it." I'm like, yeah, no one's surprised by that. But he doesn't hate that cat. He doesn't. He loves that cat, but for some reason he is concealing the fact he loves that cat from his friends and family. Presumably because he thinks it'll make him look weak or something. Here's how I know he loves that cat. I went over there to visit him and the cat. He went, "Right, come in, fucking cat's in the corner. Hate it, hate it." I look around expecting to see this horrible cat, this bag of bones, hissing cat. It's the most beautiful cat I have ever seen in my life. This round, white, fluffy thing. It looks like a vapor's breath. It's incredible. So I had my suspicions that he loved that cat. Suspicions that were confirmed when my sister called me a few weeks later. She still lives at home. She'd seen some emails open on my dad's computer that he'd left there, right? Emails from my dad's account to the vet where they're registering the cat. The twist being, my dad has been emailing the vet as the cat. Just gonna let that sink in. This is a man who was a lawyer for 35 years of his life. He's retired, and 3 weeks later, he's pretending to be his own fucking pet. When I said to my sister, "You are aware of what job I do? Why haven't you forwarded me those emails yesterday?" This first email is from a lady called Karen. She works in the vet's office, right? Now, I read this email out for a very specific reason, and it'll become clear very quickly why I'm reading this out. Okay, here we go. "Mr. Gamble, thank you for registering Matatabi with our surgery." Yep, I'll explain that. "My dad has called his cat Matatabi. When I said, 'Why have you done this?' he said, 'Well, it's Japanese for silver birch.'" So that explains that, doesn't it? "Thank you for registering Matatabi with our surgery. As discussed, here's a list of vaccinations and recommended specialised foods for cats of Matatabi's age. Please book an appointment at your earliest convenience, Karen." Lovely stuff from Karen there. If you were listening closely to the email, you will have worked out that at no point in the email was there any suggestion of role play. Bearing that in mind, here is the first response from my dad's account. It's the first response. He gives Karen no warm-up into this shit. "Hey, Karen, I hope you don't mind speaking directly to the patient." Now, I can hear some of you making embarrassed noises out there. This is not your fucking dad, excuse me. Any idea how I felt the first time I read this? My butthole lives in my throat for forevermore. "I hope you don't mind speaking directly to the patient. Thank you for your response. I will pass it on to Mr. Gamble so he can look over it." That annoyed me massively. The idea that the cat would call him Mr. Gamble. It's arrogant. That's what it is. "We'll see when I'm free in my schedule." Cat's got a schedule. "And I'll get back to you ASAP. From Matatabi." So my dad's got himself into a tricky situation here, hasn't he? Not only is he pretending to be his own cat, he has also said that as the cat, he'll have to go and speak to his human owner, find out when he's free for an injection, and then get back to the vet with a follow-up email. So now my dad's got to work out how long he thinks it would take a cat to do all of those things. So he knows what gap to leave before email 2. My dad's a very exact man. I know for a fact he would have done a dry run-through of that situation. Would have gone, "Right, okay, email 1 sent, we're on the clock, here we go, what's happening? Right, I'm a cat, aren't I? I'm a cat. Going off to find my human owner, find out when I'm free for an injection. Here we go, we're on the clock. Mr. Gamble! Is he in the kitchen? No. Is he in the bathroom? No. Hello, Mr. Gamble. Right, hello, Matatabi. Right, I'm Mr. Gamble again now. So that's about 5 minutes. Why, hello, Matatabi. And hello to you, Mr. Gamble. And yes, my voice is the same as yours. And I know my name's Japanese, but I'm not fucking touching that. Mr. Gamble. When am I free for my injection? Any day next week apart from a Tuesday, because that's a my Dalmio day. When... Just peruse your schedule and it would appear on the 15th at 11 a.m. You're free for an injection, Matatabi. Why, thank you, Mr. Gamble. Now, here's the important question. Do you think I, as a cat, should send another email to the vet? Or do you think you, as a human, should take over? Bearing in mind, Mr. Gamble, that if I, as a cat, send another email, you are going to look fucking insane! Go ahead, Matatabi. Right, back. I'm a cat. Back to the computer, still on the clock. It's about 22 minutes now. Time for email 2. Karen, hello, and indeed, meow. I have spoken to my owner, and he mentioned that the 15th at 11 a.m. looks good for my injections. From Matatabi. This is my favourite bit of the whole exchange. This is the response from Karen after those 2 emails. Mr. Gamble, the 15th at 11 a.m. is booked. Karen. Gotta love Karen. Karen has got no time for my dad's shit. Karen has read all of that in the 2 emails before and gone, I'm not dealing with this. This is a man in his 60s having a post-retirement psychotic meltdown. I'm not qualified to deal with this. Still scary for Karen, though. Karen doesn't know what's going to come through the door on the 15th at 11 a.m. The entire correspondence has been over email. At this point, Karen doesn't technically know that there even is a cat. It could just be my dad dressed as a cat. He still sends the emails as a cat, you'll be happy to know. Still sends the emails as the cat, but he doesn't mention that when he takes the cat into the vet. And I love that, because he's not very sociable, right? So he will just take the cat in and I'll go, right, there's the cat, and then pick the cat up at the end and go, thank you, and leave. And then they get all these emails from the cat. It's just like the cat is this verbose figure in charge of all the admin who's taken it upon himself to hire a weird silent butler. And I hope he keeps it up. I hope he keeps sending those emails as the cat. And I hope that for a very specific reason. Because if he keeps sending the emails as the cat, in a few years, the inevitable will happen, and my dad will have to send a very dark email. In a few years' time, if he still sends the emails as the cat, my dad will have to email the vet as the cat to arrange his own death. Well, Karen, I think my time has come. Time for Matatabi to shuffle off this mortal coil. Goodbye, and indeed, meow.